Adrian. Oh, man. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a very fun day. I've got a lot planned for today. Hopefully I can get through the podcast fast enough. And then maybe I can finish off Mario World. That's right. It's the hype hat. It's the hype hat because I wear it when there's hype. You just type it in your Twitch chat, Kid Curdy. So you have to go to twitch.tv/KidCurdy. Rory, thanks for the host, man. Man, we got all these people who are hosting. I know that Kodiak doesn't stream yet, but you should follow him. I also know that H-Bomb streams once in a while. Not very often from what I see, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm not even sure if he's still active. He might just be hosting to be nice. But you should give him a follow anyway, just to be reciprocal. But what kind of name is Rory? He's awesome. He's a variety streamer. Does lots of JRPGs and stuff like that. So if we can get a caster command for him and for H-Bomb, that would be wonderful. And for, of course, Kodiak Moonwolf, who I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, man. I know you were having internet issues. All right. Well, guys, we got some stuff to do today. How does it look? I got my new lights. I'm so happy with them. I'm really, really happy with my new lights. I feel like the room looks so much brighter and like it's easier to see the sign in the back and everything. In fact, I'm not even sure if I'm going to end up doing that LED idea that I had. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing. Here, I can do it. Caster at... Oh, okay. Kodiak's got it. Kodiak's all over the place. All right, let me open up Audacity. This will be the second time that I've used Audacity today. I'll shut off the music. I'll go ahead and... Well, I just leave it there, I suppose. Kid Curdy, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the email that you sent me the other day. I appreciate it. Now, let's see. Where do I go next? Oh, here I go. I'm going to turn down my alerts. Your internet's been up and down for the past week. That sucks, man. That's terrible. I feel bad. I hate it when the internet is not working. Like when we were looking to buy a house, the first question that I asked is what internet can I get at this house? That's the most important question. Show notes, please. Jeez, man, didn't you give me a chance? Who was playing Stardew Valley? Oh, Rory was playing Stardew Valley. That's awesome. All right. Okay. Are you ready, kids? All right, let's see. Here we go. This episode of Switchcraft is brought to you by patrons like Jeff GG. Support Switchcraft and my other content for as little as $1 at patreon.com/runjumpstomp. Save. Name. Patron. Save as SC135. Save. Hey, Kid Curdy, thanks for the host, man. They were recently playing ! All right. So we've saved. Go back. This episode of Switchcraft is also brought to you by the NES Archive. Make sure that you check out on youtube.com/runjumpstomp my I can't talk. This is why I should write things down sometimes. Okay, I got another light in your living room. Phillips Hue set now. Your room is twice as purple than before. Thanks for the compliment, the hapliment there, Mr. Dippy. Episode 135 of Switchcraft is also brought to you by the NES Archive. Head on over to youtube.com/runjumpstomp. That's my channel. And when you're there, you're going to see a new playlist. It's all about video games that were released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in North America. The latest episode, which came out today, is all about Kung Fu, one of my favorite games for the NES. So make sure you head on over to, again, youtube.com/runjumpstomp and subscribe so that you can see those videos and, of course, others. Name? Sponsor! You can't talk either? Well, it's kind of my job right now to talk. It's actually my job to talk like all the time. Thanks, Kid Curdy, for the auto host. All right. Switchcraft is recorded live 3 times a week, U.S. Eastern, on Tuesday, Thursday, and on Saturday, whatever time that I can get around to it. Make sure that you tune in over at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp, just like these fantastic people. We've got Bravd, Kodiak Moonwolf, Snow Goes Ham, Vaxer, Awate86, Aerslia, Kid Curdy, Kiwi Key, Max Meister, Mr. Dippy, TF Wagner, and the Yoruga. I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry. But welcome, everybody, and welcome to anybody who still isn't talking. That's okay as well. The lurkers. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me while I record the show. It makes it way more fun for me. Let's jump right into feedback. I got an email. Actually, I got a couple of emails. First, I got an email from Kevin. They actually sent this before the last episode, and I just plain forgot about it. They said, "Hello, comma, wonderful podcast. I just got a Switch from Santa for Christmas with Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart. You are in for a treat, my friend. 2 weeks later, for my 60th birthday, I got Super Mario Odyssey and ordered Splatoon 2. I have a lot of playing to do. You might be set for life. I'm just saying. You got a lot to do in those games that you just listed. The game I'm hoping Nintendo brings to the Switch is the Switch Fit, the exercise program. I used the Wii Fit and the Wii U Fit. Thanks for covering all that is Switch. Sincerely yours, Kevin." You know what? I don't think that that's a bad idea, but what I do think won't happen is Mii's. I don't think that we're going to see Mii's on the Switch anytime soon, so it would be a very different looking game, Switch Fit. And also, would the little balance board that they have be compatible with the Switch? I don't see why it wouldn't. Kind of makes me wish I hadn't gotten rid of mine. I had that. I didn't really use it all that much, but I thought it was cool, and my kids played with it a lot. I think it's a good idea. You know what? I said that I don't think we'll see Mii's on the Switch, but at the same time, I know that Nintendo kind of wants to leave the Wii stuff behind. The whole thing with Nintendo Labo makes me think that they may have said, okay, well, we've marketed towards the core gamer for an entire year. Now we're going to start marketing to other people as well. And maybe in 6 months or maybe at the end of the year, they'll bring out some stuff with Mii's. And that would really catch people's attention. That would catch people's attention who, picked up a Wii and then never bought the Wii U. And that was a massive market. Like, the Wii sold like wildfire. It sold really, really well. And that's a market that completely got left behind by PS4 and Xbox One. And the Wii U just was marketed so poorly that it never translated to grabbing those customers from the Wii era. I bet if Nintendo brought like a Wii Sports version forward to the Switch. Not right away. I still think that they need to wait some time, but I think it would do pretty well, and I think it would be a system seller as well. Wii Sports, you know, you make fun of it all you want, but it was a fun game, especially when you had a big group of people at your house and you were bowling or sword fighting or whatever it is that you were doing. I thought it was really good. TF Wagner says, still use my balance board with the Wii U. Mr. Dippy said, I found a store selling new balance board just a few weeks back. That's cool. Snow Goes Ham says, Switch Fit Sonic at the Olympics featuring Rabbids. Can we listen? I don't think you fit enough genres or intellectual property in there. I think we need to add a few more things. Maybe The Hobbit plus Star Wars. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think that those are that is a good idea. And thank you for the email, Kevin. I also got another email from Kid Curdy. They said, hey, RJS, regarding Nintendo Labo, I'm wondering if you think Nintendo will prevent people from posting the cardboard template online for people to print at local print shops. Personally, if I'm paying $87 Canadian to buy the real thing, it would stink if people could get it for next to nothing. Thanks, Kid Curdy. Okay. You know, I've been thinking about this a lot since Nintendo announced Labo. And the one thing that it comes away from me is, you know, if I printed off the blueprints myself and then like traced it onto a piece of cardboard, cutting that out, first off, cutting cardboard kind of sucks. It's not anything that people really want to do. It doesn't work terribly well. It's not like cutting with a pair of scissors on a piece of paper. It just doesn't work as well because the cardboard is so thick and you kind of mangle it as you work with it anyway. Then you take that along with the idea of folding the cardboard. You got to remember that when Nintendo does this stuff, they pre-cut so that it makes it easy to fold. And the more that I think about it, the more I think that being able to make your own from cardboard you have laying around the house wouldn't be very much fun and would be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Irritating, I think. It would be frustrating to do. Now, you specifically said going to a local print shop and printing that stuff off. The die casts for having the pre-cut cardboard are very, very expensive to make. I read somewhere that they cost like $25,000. So you're not going to be able to go to a place and have them print off something like that for you. So I think if you're going to be using cardboard, you're going to be stuck with the ones that Nintendo is doing. And I do think that Nintendo will prevent people from, or Nintendo is a very draconian company. And I do think that they will try to prevent people from posting the cardboard template online. But as much as everybody thinks that they want to just print off the template, I think it would be too frustrating. What I really see happening more often is 3D printing. And I'm sure that anybody who tries to 3D print stuff will be probably hit with a C&D from Nintendo as well. Now, that doesn't really answer your question. Your question was... or not really your question was, but your comment was, if you're paying $87 Canadian to buy the real thing, it would stink if people could get it for next to nothing. You have to remember that those people still have to buy the game. And the game costs, you know, it costs the $87. You can't get the cartridge without the cardboard. So I think that really the reason people keep talking about the cardboard templates is more like replacement stuffs because cardboard isn't the most durable material. Anyway, thank you for the email. If you're looking for other ways to get a hold of me, you can do so at Run Jump Stomp on Twitter. You can call and leave a voicemail at 260-RUN-JUMP. That's 260-786-5867. And of course, you can join our Discord over at runjumpstomp.com/Discord. Okay, let's talk about the news. Hey, look at that. We've got a brand new sub, Mr. Dippy. Thank you very much. I was getting ready to take off the hat, but I got to leave it on for another 5 minutes. So let me set a timer for 5 minutes. And Mr. Dippy, thank you for the sub. And somebody said, or let me see, where was it? Where is RJS Bot said something? Here we go. Okay, yeah. Mr. Dippy subscribed with Twitch Prime. Just so anybody out there who doesn't know, if you subscribe with Twitch Prime, it does not auto-renew. So make sure that if you want, you can come back next month and hit that button again. It still doesn't cost you anything, but it won't auto-renew automatically. And Rodney Dangerfield, thank you very much for the follow. I loved you in Back to School. Oh, see you later, Kid Curdy. Thanks for coming. I just hit my hat. Oh, and Kodiak already kind of talked about the auto renew. There you go. All right, I want to get rid of that news thing at the end. Let me look at that. Okay, let's talk about the news. Yeah, let's get rid of that. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. All right. Oh, let me turn that back down. When I'm on this screen, do you guys think that I should move the subscriber thing here, the alerts from right here, because it's right in the middle of the screen? Should I move that someplace else? I'm just curious what you guys think. Should that be elsewhere, or should I just leave it right in the middle? All right, let's talk about the news. Top left? Well, I can't like experiment with it now. Brav says the more your face is covered, the better. Thanks so much, man. By the way, speaking of Bravd, that Sneaky Pete. Brav's father is a fireman. And one of the things that he and his brothers used to do is they would sneak into each other's houses and hide little firemen in the house. And when Bravd was over the other day, this looks a little inappropriate. When Bravd was over the other day so that we could, TF Wagner, that's a good point. So that we could stream Octodad, he snuck this into the house, which I thought was hilarious. And it will remain there. In a place of honor. So thanks for adding to the decorations behind me, Bravd. All right. Well, this is kind of a weird story. No, let's start that over. You know, ever since Nintendo brought out Project Labo, or Nintendo Labo, or whatever it is that they want to call it, there hasn't been a lot of news in the past couple days from Nintendo. So I think that today's show will be short, and every time that I say that, it's insanely long. So we'll see if I can find a way to shut up. Let's talk about Pokemon a little bit. Pokemon is, I guess, going to become an esport in Japan. Now, unfortunately, Nintendo, or well, not Nintendo, the Pokemon Company, they were not satisfied with the term esport. They really wanted something that was more them. So they decided to call it P Sports, which is a terrible, terrible name. Now, right now, it's only going to be in Japan, and there's no real news on whether or not they're going to be bringing it across to the Western hemisphere, I guess. And P Sports is a terrible name, but in Japan, it might not be a terrible name. I think, and Snow Goes Ham just totally stole my thunder. They should have called it Poke Sports. Because esports and then POKE sports, Poke Sports. It would have made so much more sense. And maybe if they're smart, that's what they'll call it when they when they bring it across the pond, I guess, as it were. But anyway, the article's a little weird. It says P Sports will encompass all 720 Pokemon species. Well, there's more than 720 Pokemon species, so I'm not sure what they meant by that. And it says that it will even have an appeal, much like the game itself. There's an Elite Four for the player to beat to become Pokemon champion. The Elite Four includes a comedian, a Pokemon personality, Hiroshi Yamamoto, and then renowned Pokemon gamer Rebori. Oh, just Rebori. I don't know who that is, but I guess that it sounds cool. I wonder, are they going to be playing on 3DSs? Is this a Switch version of the game? We really don't know how this is going to work. It probably won't be coming here anytime soon. It's going to actually be on TV, which is not something that you would see over here. You know what, Snow? I completely agree with you. P Sports sounds like something else entirely. What do you guys think about Pokemon as an esport? I think it's something that could, pardon me, that could work. I mean, Twitch already streams the Pokemon, like they have a Pokemon channel on Twitch that shows the card games as well as people playing the battle system on 3DS. It's odd that they're bringing it to TV, but in Japan, gaming is so much more front and center. It's so much more mainstream that I guess it makes sense over there. So I guess this story is really about their poor choice of name. I really think Poke Sport would have been a better choice. It's just really bad. Well, you know, I'm hoping that they change the battle system a little bit when they bring it to the Switch, because I kind of got bored with it. Random number generator, Mr. Dippy, RNG. You know what? That's TF Wagner kind of makes a good point. He says P Sports sounds like a Wii joke, and everybody made jokes about the Wii when when the name was announced, and then we quickly got over it. So maybe people will eventually get over the P Sports title. I don't know. We'll see. All right, I just recorded that part too. I prefer skill-oriented esport. I watch a lot of CSGO tournament and the new Overwatch tournament. Besides that, Pokemon is boring to watch. Well, Pokemon, I mean, I know that a lot of adults play Pokemon. Oh, by the way, the timer went off, so thank you very much for the sub. I appreciate it. I know that a lot of adults play Pokemon, and the games are good JRPGs, but you have to remember that you're not the target demographic. The target demographic for Pokemon is kids, and they like to watch Pokemon, I think. I think they like to watch it. I could be wrong. Let me save what I've got so far. All right. Well, the stock market really, really likes Nintendo Labo. This comes from the Financial Times. Nintendo added nearly $1.4 billion to their market value with cardboard, which is really crazy. I mean, that's a big, big increase. And that's dollars, not yen. That's dollars. So that's a huge increase. In fact, Nintendo now has a higher market value than it did in 2008, which is pretty insane. And you know, the Switch has been breaking all kinds of records. It's been selling like crazy, and now that Nintendo is saying, "Hey, we're not just catering to the core gamer. We're also going to make sure that we're giving stuff to our casual fans." I think that we're going to see a lot of Switches sold. I was a little skeptical when Labo first came out as to whether or not it would be a system seller. But the more I think about it, the more I think it's possible that people will see this and they'll be like, "Oh, I have to get this for my kids." People who would say, "Well, I don't want you playing video games." Oh, but this is different. This is not just a video game. It's also something that you physically do. And I think that's going to get a lot of Switches into a lot of houses. And you know, there's also the educational aspect for it. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on my episode last time, but I talked about it earlier today. I was talking to somebody. I'll talk about that in a sec. But it would be really cool if Nintendo would have like some cardboard cutout letters and numbers and shapes, and you could set up the right Joy-Con to have the camera pointed towards the kid, and the TV could say, you know, it could be Mario on the screen, and Mario could say, uh, "Show me the letter T." And then, you know, the kid grabs the cardboard letter T and holds it up in front of the camera, and it recognizes it. And then Mario's like, "Great job, let's go." That's awesome. That's a really cool thing that Nintendo could do with that. And so I think that Nintendo could get families who would otherwise eschew, hopefully I said that word right. I've only ever seen it written, not ever heard it. But they normally avoid video games to buy a system like the Switch for this. And then that could be, you know, the Switch could be the system that kids grow up with. They start with these very simple games, and as they get older, they can get into more and more complicated games, and eventually playing games like Breath of the Wild and things like that. And especially because, you know, Kimishima said we should expect that the Switch is going to have a very long lifespan. I don't know how long he's talking, but Nintendo likes to refresh their consoles. Well, especially their portable consoles. So I think that we could see some refreshes in the future that update things about the Switch, but still play all the same games. So you know, if we're going to have a long lifespan, you might as well try and get kids while they're young. Snow Goes Ham says, "I believe Labo is riding the Switch hype wave in a mostly positive way." He then says, "That sounds neat and all, but I don't know if you should pointing IR sensors at kids." Well, an IR sensor is just going to it's infrared. I mean, infrared is a very, very weak wavelength of electromagnetic energy. It's very, very oh gosh, how do I say it? It's less. It's just heat. That's all it is. Infrared just means heat. So I think it'd be okay. I don't think we have to worry about that. Infrared is no different than the the sensor bar on the Nintendo Wii. That was just infrared lights on the sensor bar, and then the controller, the Wii controller, had a camera in it which would pick up those two lights that were being given off. So that's what infrared is. It's not going to hurt kids by pointing infrared at them. It's a lot less. Yeah. TV remotes work with infrared as well. If you ever want to check and see if your TV remote is working, grab your camera and, you know what? I don't want to risk that. Grab your camera and point your TV remote at it, because your camera can see the infrared light that you can't see. Awate86 says, there's an infrared camera in the new iPhone 10, so it's safe. That's true. It's got an infrared camera. Well, I don't want all that on screen. Right there. And it scans my face when I am trying to unlock my phone. Infrared is safe. It's not a big deal. Stop. Save. What is that? What is the name of that? We'll call it stock. In fact, the longer the wavelength, the less harmful it is. So, you know, ultraviolet radiation has a very short wavelength, so it's very harmful to your skin. Infrared wavelength has a longer wavelength, so it's not harmful. Interested in, oh, that's okay. Let me turn up the fan a little bit in here. I want you to take a second and think about this. What do you think? And I'm just talking about digital download games only. What do you think was the #1 digital download game in 2017 for the Nintendo Switch? Do you have an idea in your head? I know what I would have picked. I would have picked Minecraft. I would have said that Minecraft was the #1 game on the Switch in digital download only. You know, it's not available on store shelves. And I would have been wrong. Minecraft was actually #2. #1 was Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley beat Minecraft as the #1 game that is only on eShop for the Nintendo Switch, which really surprised me. Now, if you'd asked me, what do you think your top 3 are? I would have said Minecraft, and I'll tell you what I wouldn't have said. I wouldn't have said Sonic Mania, but Sonic Mania was #3. Sonic Mania really did well, and man, that game is fantastic. I've forgotten how great it is, and I can't wait to play more of it. I played a little bit of it the other day, and Sonic Mania, thumbs up. It really, every time I pick that game up, I have so much fun with it. Let's take a look at the rest of the list. So Rocket League came in #4. Snipper Clips is #5. Overcooked is #6. Then we've got Shovel Knight, Fast RMX, Kamiko. Kamiko was really cheap, so I actually expected that to be a lot higher. And then SteamWorld Dig 2. And then we'll say the number 11, which is one that I really am surprised it did as poorly as it did, is Super Mario Versus, which is the only way that you can get classic Mario on your Switch right now. I expected that to do a lot higher. I did not expect Fast RMX to do as well as it did. However, you have to remember that it came out right when the Switch launched, so it's had a long time to sell. And then we look at Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley came out on, I think it was October 1st, 2018. Not October 1st, 2018. When did that come out? 2017. I think it came out on October 1st, 2017. It's a big surprise that Stardew Valley did that well. I am really excited for Chucklefish. They recently tweeted some screenshots of the multiplayer mode on Nintendo Switch, and I am looking forward to playing that game with my son. It looks really fun, especially because you can also play it online, and so you can have a couple people all working together and having a lot of fun on the Switch if only they had voice chat. October 5th, 2017. Okay, I was off by a couple days. Thank you, Snow. Thank you, Snow. Anyway, is there anything that you're surprised is not here? Most of the list I expected like this, not to be in this order though. Like Sonic Mania, really high up there. That surprised me. I'm surprised that I didn't see Golf Story as I scroll through. Like when Golf Story was announced, people were talking about that game nonstop. Like it was getting all kinds of accolades, and it's not even in the top 30. It was beat by Human Fall Flat, which my son has been playing on his Switch, and I think that game looks like crap and plays terribly. That's just my personal opinion. He loves it. It's got really, really loose and sloppy controls, and it's not fun for me to play, but him and his friends have been playing it and laughing. They've just been laughing hysterically at Human Fall Flat. And I say it has loose, sloppy controls, but that game was designed to have loose, sloppy controls in mind. It's like that kind of game. I just found it frustrating to try and control the character. Anyway, it's a pretty impressive feat for Stardew Valley to beat Minecraft. That's impressive. We'll close that. Get rid of that. All right. Well, I mentioned it before, but I was talking to somebody earlier about Nintendo Labo, and that is the Hello Nintendo podcast. I was a guest on the Hello Nintendo podcast earlier today. They're going to be editing the episode, and they will drop that episode on the 24th of January. So make sure that you check that out. You can follow a link in the show notes to find it. If you don't know what it is, Hello Nintendo is the official podcast of the Nintendo subreddit over on Reddit. So reddit.com/r/Nintendo. And I was a guest on there today along with other, oh my gosh, there's a snowmobile going by and it sounded like a chainsaw. Anyway, let's move on to the lightning round. I'm going to get rid of that and start over because there is no lightning round. So earlier I mentioned that I was speaking to someone about I keep wanting to call it Project Labo, but it's not it. It's Nintendo Labo. Anyway, I was talking to somebody about Nintendo Labo, and who was I talking to about it? I was talking to the cast of Nintendo. I can't talk. I'm just having trouble today, guys. So I mentioned that I had been speaking to someone about Nintendo Labo, and who was I talking to about it? Well, I was talking to the people over at Hello Nintendo, which is the official podcast of the Nintendo subreddit over at reddit.com/r/Nintendo. And we had a really fun talk. They do a bi-weekly podcast, so we had a lot to talk about. We talked about the Nintendo Mini Direct as well as Nintendo Labo, and it was a lot of fun. So make sure you check out that episode. It comes out on the 24th, which I think is Wednesday. Hey, Rock, what's up? Hey there, Lumberjoke. Well, that is all the time that we have for today. If there's a story that I missed or a topic that you would like discussed, please let me know. And one of the ways that I mentioned at the top of the show. If you're looking for ways to support the show, head on over to runjumpstomp.com/support. You'll find my Amazon affiliate link. You'll find the link to my wife's Etsy shop, a Patreon link, and others as well. Also, thank you to Noteblock and Tom Winter for the use of your music on the show. I really appreciate it. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. File, save. All right, guys. I am sticking around, though. I'm going to edit that later. Hey, new follower. Who we got? Skittleman44. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Now,